Have you ever seen a drop bear?
What?
A who?
A drop bear.
What does it do?
That's top secret information. We don't talk about drop
What
bears.
is a drop bear?
Oh, it's a drop bear.
I'll look up, but it's NC-17 stuff. All right. Violent.
Cole, they lose to the Clinks, so they pick the Clinks.
You guys will never expect this. We saw this from this great team earlier today.
It's another kind of like split pushing thing, right? This is similar to what Thunderbirds ran with it. They had the Shadow Shaman to take towers, and now they take an even
right.
push. Full push for complexity.
Let's talk about desperation.
Ease
Hey,
of
guys.
execution. This is the way to take it.
Yeah.
I
I
want
get
to
a hero
melt
that made
towers.
that-
You don't need any synergy. They called it, Cheever. You literally push the towers and pray that they can't stop you.
I did much better from complexity.
When Ravage is on
They got a
cooldown,
plan.
you go, you take fights.
Yeah.
And even when it's up, you try and force a bad Ravage out, so...
It's a mid laner that doesn't really care too much about Nyx either. Like most mid laners are like int kind of based or something like that. DK doesn't care, but Lina not building up for MSG, so they
a bit
pick
of magical
themselves
burst against the DK.
lane dominator.
Light strike can certainly be used to play around a bad snowball. So.
That's actually such a good pick because if they're going to go all in on push, they need somebody that has pretty low cooldowns that could do a nice amount of damage to kind of dissuade them from doing that. So typically with a Tidehunter, you want somebody to be able to capitalize on that big damage, you know, maybe another team fighter, but Lina's such a smart pick. Stay away from my towers or I'm going to blow you up, dog. Right. So you're thinking SG's going to take this? Yeah, actually. Complexity's draft is completely one-dimensional. They know exactly what they're going to do, and they can plan around that. So, yeah, as long as they play the tower defense game, which they probably can with the Lina, I think they'll be okay. All right. What do you reckon?
5 seconds remaining.
When back slacks up.
Woo!
Call have lost 3 games in a row, you know. We had a team SG do that yesterday. I think there's going to be Call doing it today. It's pretty rough mental state to be in after losing 3 games. And
True.
draft-wise, I think it is pretty easy to see what's coming.
I think it's pretty easy to see what's coming as well, but I think that is exactly what complexity needs. Easy to execute. They know exactly what they need to do to win the game. They don't rely too much on each other. I feel like this is their game. It's going to be 1-1 perhaps.
Wow!
Let's find out if that is the case. It is over to ODPixel and Fog.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and we're ready to go for the second game of the second series of the day, Complexity up against SG Esports, and we've just seen the drafts. We do have Complexity with something that's a little easier to execute. We're not seeing any faceless voids. Damage isn't going to be an issue. They've got ways to push lanes, but SG as well, good answers, as the panel said. The Lina, I feel, a nice little way to round up SG's draft and address maybe some of the lackings they had. That sort of wave clear, that D push that Lina answers in a nutshell.
Yeah, definitely a possibility. Just having like that strong kind of laner as well to deal versus DK. But like we said, you know, this looks more like straight complexity, right?
Yes.
Like even the old school complexity, like thinking back to when they were playing at their best, they used to have these kind of like push lineups that they hit like right after the laning phase happens, they can all just go to a lane and barrel it down, and that's exactly what they have coming from this draft. What it looks like now is it looks like SG is actually going to go for some type of aggro lane to try to pressure the Clinks and put the Tidehunter in the safe lane.
So yeah, that does end up going for them here. Tarvo hiding in position.
30 seconds to battle.
Complexity are hunting. We'll see how deep they come around looking for the Tide. Ping outs at the moment. That is what that's from SG.
HFN.
Yeah.
HFN just pinging their own Tidehunter over and over again. A good hiding spot. Drop your tangos.
Some strange communication. I mean, it's what Tarvo is just taunted, and SG loving it. The wows and applause come out in support.
They're telling him to contest the rune, I believe, now.
The battle begins.
Is he going to?
He's backstroking. He's trying.
Is he going to do
got
it?
it.
Oh,
He
he didn't get it. If he got it, that would have been pretty smooth from Tarvo, but yeah, it doesn't grab it, as Swindle Melons will be able to pick it up for the side.
So they saw the Tide under bottom and they didn't see anyone else, so now Clinks is making the movement away. He doesn't want to get aggro tri-laned. Clinks is still a bit of a weak laner if he gets pressured in that kind of manner. And the rotation's coming out. Swindle Malones keeps toward top lane with the Jakiro. this Jakiro is going to suffer at getting experience
This is
at
a
the start.
hard lane, yeah.
Look at where the position of the lane is already.
I mean, he may just die if he comes too far, down too far here. He may be in trouble. He's on the verge of being in trouble. And there we have it. Telekinesis, dragging him back into the stun. The bugs are on him, biting down on his armor. And Swindle Melons, I think he's going down here. They've got the right click damage. He's dead. It's a dangerous lane for the Dragon. Swindly Malones has to be careful of it.
Yeah, dangerous lane, but also the position of the lane was pretty atrocious for complexity. Mid lane, Adriano leading the CS board as kind of expected. I mean, it's Lina versus DK. This should be a pretty handled matchup for Lina, but DK can always farm. You know, you have Dragon Breath every. So
bottom lane, Salvo being run down here again with the taunts. Taunt as well. Salvo 5 tangos. He's prepared for a bit of aggression down in this bottom lane. He's ready to deal with it. I love how every time as well, when someone SG taunts, King RD's always there with a vocal response. You know, the head shakes and such
nice
come out.
charge bottom. Top might actually drop here.
Is he going to taunt again? On the way down, he's not. He realizes he messed up. And an applause from the grave.
Even their teammates.
I mean, they're great at doing this. And mid lane, Firo there actually baiting Adriano to go in and surviving on very minimal health before he got the salve out. And actually no salve on the Lina, only the Tango.
Got it.
You have it, Rune. He sniped there. King RD comes in with the stun, takes it away.
This top lane's a problem though.
Yeah.
This Jakiro is getting absolutely nothing. Not even experience, no last hits, nothing whatsoever. Jimmy's trying to make up for that by like making moves around the map to put pressure onto the Lina. And Z-Freak as well is trying to make moves. Because now I believe this is where this is their best kind of option. Leave Moon in like a kind of 1v1 versus the Tyner because he should be able to farm just fine with that, and then they just crush the mid lane. Rotation coming in.
Is it enough though? I mean, Firo's not on mana. They do have the Shard block, and they will go in with the Shackles. TP's coming through. We'll see the 2-man stone come out. Can they get the kills in return? They've lost the Lina. Firo trying to walk it out, and yeah, the armor's too high. He's out and down. He'll survive, and they get away with that. A good rotation, and as you say, you're tackling one of the issues that would certainly become one with Lina having a good start in that mid lane.
I think it's their best like kind of options at this point. They can't really help the top lane because of the position of it. HFN just keeping it in like the very defensive kind of position for himself, so Swindle can't really walk up. Swindle might be in some trouble here. King RD with the rotation behind. Melons is going to scout him out though on the side there, or is he? He does.
Let's see if King set coming up here. Those?
I did see him.
I mean,
think he did see him.
Do you think it doesn't feel like he's playing that he did? Yeah, I think that one tree
like
there may have blocked it. Bottom lane though, Moo. Actually able to move in with the help of Z-Freak and punish again Tavo, who is pretty deep, very close to the tier 1 tower.
They're cutting behind. Swindles now looks to be in trouble. Are they able to get the stun? They are. Yeah.
And again, they should have easily more than enough damage between the three of them. Bring down Swindles. Another kill for the side of SG. But as we're seeing this time around, compLexity, they're finding action down bottom. It's already looking to be a much more solid of a start here for compLexity, as they're able to sort of match the movements that SG are doing.
Get those duo roaming pairs coming out, the Shadow Shaman
Exactly.
Tusk. They did see the Rubik actually rotating toward the top lane. They did have a ward on him, so Milo getting a big part out of off guard.
Flamethrower. Run upon, falling very low there. Able to walk it off with the Invis rune.
They want to make an aggressive move onto the mid lane here. They have a ward down. C4T in position to counter gank. Did spot him out. Jimmy pings him.
Now they know he's there. Now that he's backed off, this is a chance to go in, but yeah, they're playing it safe. They don't want to dive in when there's a Rubik to back him up.
Top lane again.
Top
Swindle.
lane. Is this an instant replay, or is this happening live? Well, he missed the stun this time, but it really doesn't matter. They'll give him the head shake. But another kill for HFN. I mean, this is... What do you do now if you're Swindlers? You can't go back to this top lane, because you're only going to feed again.
It's definitely extremely problematic. Tabo now bottom. Shackled up. Pretty durable, but not durable.
So, I mean, this is the thing, I guess. You're losing Jakiro, but in return on SG, they're losing the Tidehunter time and time again.
Both of the quote-unquote offlaners are suffering.
Quote-unquote offlaners.
Radiant's
I mean,
bottom
they're not playing the
Damn.
offlaner. They're playing
Fuck.
safe lane. They're playing safe lane.
I see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
I thought
wasn't
you like,
blaming.
these guys calling themselves offlaners,
No,
honestly.
I would never. Swindle's, I saw him actually ping the jungle, so I think he's
Yeah.
actually just going to jungle now.
I think he kind
Jungle
of has
Jakiro.
to. He has to play it safe. That top lane is too much of a liability for him to go to.
Smoke up in the mid lane. Z-Freak and Jimmy moving on to Adriano.
He's pretty high up on the high ground. The shackles. They've got a lot of lockdown, and they'll take the kill. Between the three of them, again, nice movements, all down to the Jimmy and Z-Freak to make those plays for complexity and set up those kills. And it is working between the middle and the bottom lane. Those have been great lanes for Colt. They, at the moment, it just looks like they are sacking this top lane, which is a little bit dangerous as HFN, pretty much perfect farm, 3 kills under his belt. It's a very strong start on the Weaver.
Uh-oh, Demon. Looks like he's going to be the next culprit.
Yep, stuns there, and not only 3 kills, but on the verge of being about to pick up a 4th. Mid lane, Firo was able to find the kill onto the Rubik with the Elder Dragon form. So, I mean, cores on both sides are getting action, but definitely HFN's Weaver, who is having the best of starts here in the first 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Lots of denies as well, good XP, level 7, 6.5 minutes in. It's going very nicely for him on the top lane. And Swindles has come back into the lane, but you know, he's got to be even more careful with that time lapse there. SG, if they see an opportunity, they will dive him.
Yeah, they already have Arcane Boots on Nyx Assassin too, so mana is not an issue for them to go for those type of kills. Mu, however, able to claim the bottom tower with his first Death Pact usage. And now another smoke coming out for complexity, bringing in the Dragon Knight too. The first Elder Dragon form actually wasn't used to hit a building at all. It was just for that one kill, and the tower is at full HP on the side of the Radiant, so there's that one kind of little decent thing that's coming out for them.
Smoke will be dispelled, yeah. C4T there, ready to block off the smoke. Almost certainly will pay with his life as they have the shackles. TPs will be cancelled as they know there's no saving for the Rubik. C4T's down. HFN has made his way over and looks like he'll be able to pick off Jimmy. So again,
Accepts his fate.
oh, lets the bugs finish him off. Knows he's got it. And we'll see HFN, what's he going for first? Has he got something on the courier at the moment? Something, okay, he's got the Blightstone.
Yeah, he had a medallion in his quick buy,
yeah,
but he switched it up right afterwards. Just the casual Blightstone for now.
And I guess this is a game that ultimately the Lincolns will be nice. If he has a Lincolns, he's very, very hard for complexity to catch early on. But at the same time, when you're having to start this good, I guess if you want to go full out for the damage, it's not going to hurt you. You can dispatch of some of these squishier heroes like the Shaman. Even the Eclipse if he's not got his Death Pact up very, very quickly.
Yep, definitely. Swindle top. Looks like he's going to be the next target. King RD trying to line up for a stun.
Oh,
not on the mark.
There's going to be some voice lines coming out for that. There we go. The Crybaby Sad trombone dropped heavily by King RD.
So the one good thing, though, that happens when Swindle keeps like going up and dying is that he's actually preventing them from hitting the tower. So that tower is actually very healthy, 1,000 out of 1,400 HP, while, you know, of course, they took the safe lane tower on the side of SG.
Tavo certainly being the main dish for Moose so far, as he's constantly been hunting him down to eat up the big old fish. Gonna be lucky this time. Tavo walks off to the lane. Not wanting to go too deep. Overclock picked up by Weaver.
HFN sees Jimmy on the map, runs right at him.
He knows that's the kill he can get. Jimmy will try and go for the quick TP, but it's gonna be close. Does get himself away. Quick reactions there from Jimmy, playing it safe, knowing that he has the time to do so. Mid lane now with the second Elder Dragon form. Now the tower's being pressured. They've got Mu there as well. We'll see what they could do to hold this. Tavo in the neighborhood with level 6. Is he going to ravage for that? He'll let Z-Freak get off. It's actually going to be up on top where the action happens. Once again, King RD this time able to set up the combo for the Lina mid lane. There's your ravage from Tavo, saving it for the bigger target. Looking for Firo, trying for the TP out. The light strikes there just in time. Adriano turns up, and SG bring down the DK and maintain the control of that tier 1 in the middle lane, keeping it alive. So again, another Dragon form, and not getting as much as maybe complexity would have hoped to achieve with it.
Yeah, just good rotation coming down from SG. They force a reaction top when they're diving on Swindle. Z-Freak ports up there to try to help him, but it was a bit too late. They're able to just clean up, and then in turn of events, they have everybody set up in the mid lane to kill the Dragon Knight, who lost all of his support backup.
Adriano able to self up a DD as well now. It's certainly looking better than game one did for complexity at this stage, but still it does feel like SG with this Weaver and such are the bigger threats at this point.
Yeah, we're waiting to see when Moo gets more involved. Like, he's got 3 kills, but those were all during in the laning phase onto the Tidehunter. So he's got his soul ring up, he's got his medallion too. We'll see what he's able to make of the next few rotations when he's got treads and like finished. Well, how's our Rasta doing as well? Shadow Shaman almost got his level 6, so Mass Serpent Wards will help them bring down towers. Top lane, Moo. The dust goes on to him. King RD.
He's going to go quick with the TP out, and he will make it. Not quite enough damage there.
Is under attack.
So TP's certainly been the aim of the game here for complexity, making sure that they've got them ready to go. Sells out.
What do we have Tavo queuing up for? Tidehunter got a Midas queued up in his inventory. He's even got the Gloves of Haste already finished, so feeling like they've got a good point to take it later on. Plus he does have a very push-oriented lineup.
Middle lane ready to go again. Elder Dragon forms up. Dropping the ult here from Swindles, forcing SG to back away from this town. So this time, Lexi should get the tier 1. Firo, case down by Tavo. They've got the telekinesis onto the Shaman. They'll take the easier kill, surrounding Jimmy. Demons out and down.
Yeah, they knew Ravage was on cooldown, so they were able to pressure that tower a bit more freely. HFN stayed top, pressuring that one. He's got his Dragon Lance finished up, and he almost was able to claim that top tower.
That's H stack at the top, but just be a little careful clearing it. So pop the Shrine, get that nice burst of XP and gold secured for the team.
Instant Vendetta, port top.
Yeah, see if the two of these can make a play. If King RD gets the eyes on them, they can certainly go for it. Swindles is the vulnerable one. Firo and Demon in the neighborhood though. So not necessarily the quickest and easiest kill that they could go for. They will reveal themselves now.
They've got a nice wraparound coming in. They have TP rotations.
Bugs.
Demon in some trouble.
Yeah, they're going to catch 2 of them here. Going for Jimmy, he'll drop the wards, but he's already gone, and they could lose more. The stun catches Firo, they surround him, Light Strike as well, and with the Laguna, they'll bring the Dragon Knight down by the looks of it, or maybe the armor's enough. They'll drop the Dragon Tail onto HFN. The Shikuji's there to chase him down. Firo chopping through the tree line. He might actually just live it, but no, the stun gets him. Very nice stun from King RD, grabbing him on the very edge of that impale. We'll take it.
SC just making some very nice rotations to try to save their tier 1s. Tavo bottom lane. He's going to be the sacrificial lamb here. Gets brought down very quickly by the medallion. Damage coming out from the clanks.
Yeah, Moo finding himself in the right place to do that each and every time. Fine up it. Great. HFN still, yeah, but him and Moo pretty much on par. Question of who can get more done at this stage of the game. complexity, really wanting to use Firo to take some more of these tier 1 towers. They've got the middle and the bottom. Top is definitely going to be where they're going to look to try and eventually get that focus.
Ravage is online for SG,
yeah,
so they can actually contest for this bottom tier 2, and it looks like Complexity's plan is literally just to run at buildings. Like, they've got max liquid fire, Shadow Shaman's Serpent Ward should be up pretty soon. Moo is just like scouting out in the jungle during all of this one to try to see the rotations coming in. But yeah, here we go. They're smoked up, moving their way toward bottom tier 2. While HFN trades for top, he's able to claim the tower. He didn't see anybody going toward top for Complexity either, so they have a very good feeling, and they also saw people rotating through the ward bottom river. So they know that all of Complexity is down here.
King RD gets the stun onto Swindles. Laguna to follow up. That's Jakiro going to be going down. They'll look to move in for more. The Spike Carapace setting up onto that, allowing Tavo to get the 2-man Ravage. Double kill for Adriano, and they're not done yet. Noble, Clumsy Freak trying to buy himself some time. But again, King RD again lands the stun on Jimmy. And the side of SG wiping for Complexity. As they get shut down, and Moo, he just runs the hell out of there. He feels that that fight is not a place where he can afford to stand his ground, fight back. And fights like that certainly will start to create the difference between HFN and Moo this game. As HFN getting himself involved, Adriano, as we see there, just laying down the big damage.
Yeah, SG they saw all of Complexity moving down there. Like, every single one of them was walking down there. No one reacted to the top tower. Nobody showed mid either. They like 3 of them walked through that river ward, and they just do a nice smoke clean wraparound and just kill the Jakiro as soon as he walks up, and then it's just kind of easy pickings when they're able line up a couple more stuns.
Really need to kill this Weaver. Yet to die this game.
Yeah, what's he got? He's still just got the Dragon Lance. He hasn't really decided what else he wants to build up into just yet. We have Midas finished up her Tidehunter. Almost there. Also, wow, really nice dewarding coming out from SG. They took out both River Wards that compLexity had just placed down. So now compLexity's playing it pretty much blind. They have no wards on the map at all.
And is this a game, do you think, where either team is on a bit of a timer with their drafts? You know, as we're seeing SG with a slight lead now coming out of this early stage.
I'd say compLexity's on more of a timer because they have this like Dragon Knight.
Yeah.
When you're playing Dragon Knight, like you want to be like a bit ahead. He's gonna go for the armlet build, which gives him some more scaling potential, but he is on a bit of a timer when this Weaver is having such a good start. The big thing is, yeah, this Roshan could be quite nice for them. It all depends on the next couple engagements. They do have like DK Clinks, and Clinks is incredibly powerful, so I don't really know the exact potential of that hero just yet. But with the way that SG's been playing, they look to be pretty dominant with their movements and rotations, and the way they take the fights. They just have much better team fight whenever Ravage is up.
And they will get away with this. They certainly needed that Aegis to move. And last time, in the last fights we saw where it went pretty chaotically for compLexity, it was when Mu had to just back off. But now with that second life, he'll feel a bit more confident with standing his ground, actually being able to do the damage he needs to in these fights to enable compLexity to get themselves those kills.
Firo's level 11, while the Lina is almost level 4, like 13 and some change. So that's where it's like, you know, like DK is a bit better, you could say, in the later stages than Lina is, but when Lina has like this kind of lead, it's kind of hard to gauge that. They are going for Midas. Midas tied. Anyone else? Anyone else? Maybe the Nyx Assassin? Yeah, Nyx has a Midas coming out soon too, so he's going to have that hardcore skill, which is typical King RD. He likes to go for that kind of greedy-ass build.
And is that a bit with a full-out diffusal finish on
Dire's middle tower.
Okay, so he is going to go for that. That's
goes right in the end.
go. High damage build. Easy to get solo, like pickoffs in the back lines with that. If he finds a Shadow Shaman, it's pretty much free kills at all times. Even the Jakiro, Swindle Mount is pretty much a glorified support at this point. He is below his Tuscan net worth.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Power trades coming out. Tier 1 for Tier 1. SG's clearing it up a bit quicker though.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, move with that medallion. Damage against the heroes, not necessarily against the towers. Still takes him a bit of time in with searing arrows. Desolator is nearly complete on him though. 500 gold and he'll have it.
Well, they're trying to fight top. King RD's already in position.
Oh yeah, he can get some very tasty setup here. The Dragon Form will come out from Firo. They'll drop the wards. Does get instantly hexed and stunned up. They'll lose the Nyx Assassin, and they're going to lose the Rubik as well. A bit of a botched initiation there from SG.
King RD hit a creep with his Vendetta, and then got instantly hexed.
Inside the double sentries as well, very quick from compLexity to make sure that they have that vision to fight back. And they'll secure them the tier 2 for sure. Easy tower there for compLexity.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, they really wanted to try to defend that tower, but they put the Rubik in the front lines instead of like the Tidehunter. And Nyx Assassin unable to get a great initiation coming out.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So good movements coming out from Cole, claiming themselves 2 towers after that Roshan. Now Desolator finished up on the Clinks, so damage potential is quite nice. He can just shred Lina if he does find him out of position. This type of build.
See if they do look to try and make another play with that smoke now picked up by Jimmy. So they may want to very much wait for at least one of the 2 ults. The Elder Dragon Form and the certainly relying on them
is under attack.
to really enable a successful push.
Going for a smoke of their own. I'd actually really like to see SG grab an early gem picked up, because I think that's a big way to kind of deal with Clinks. Clinks is still susceptible to just dying when you're just sieging towers if you have a gem or like massive amounts of reveal. Going for the dive behind the tower here. They're going out to Firo right away.
Yeah, he's going to go for the TP out, but King RD's there as well with the stun, holding back the DK. And any armlet toggle his way out of this one. That is the question. He's doing a good job of it. Diffusal Blade will hold him back and they will finally get him. But he's trying his best there to get back to
Mu gets a nice courier, has a full Shadow Blade on it.
Dear. Oh dear.
Those deep wards that they have around the secret shop as well as on the high ground after taking that tier 2, able to see the courier movement.
Yeah, a little greedy of SG trying to get the courier all the way over to that half of the map. And it gets pushed.
But they get they get a DK kill and a tower. That's very good for them. Not having to expend any like big resources. Just with Luna. King RD mid, quick carapace out.
Let's drop the boards again. Demon pretty much straight up every opportunity, just dropping them down for the pushes. No messing around. The bugs do catch onto him, and now they could be in trouble. Jibby, he's certainly going to be the first to fall. Godlike now for HFN as he continues his game with this absolutely flawless performance in terms of KDA. 9-0-4.
Cleans up all the serpent wards as well. The big chunk of gold going his way. Hits his level 15.
See how much they can get out of this. They're looking for tier 1 in the middle lane. Midas now complete for the next assassin.
Dire's middle tower is under
As
attack.
put their 4 swindles, save him from the damage that HFN is
Radiant's
doing.
bottom tower has fallen.
They'll take the tower. In return though, they do lose the tier 2 bottom. Moo on the split push. Now, looking to make a go on this kill. They do have the dust, and they should get this. They'll wait out the spike carapace. King RD will fall to the hands of the Clings.
Firo playing very far up right now.
He walks straight into the mid. Tarbo comes in with the 3-man Ravage, allowing them to just kill off the DK, moving on to Jimmy. And just like that, quick with the jump, the Tide's there to turn it around. And as you said, Firo with just positioning just a little off the mark. It doesn't pay off in the team fight. Overall though, bottom lane, Moo is going for the rack, going for the split push. They've got the telekinesis that,
No
was that,
reveal.
wait, was that his Aegis just timing out?
Did I just
imagine that?
Ticked out before. It
Oh,
ticked out when they were
before.
killing the Nyx
Okay.
assassin.
I thought I just heard it then. I must be hearing things. But yeah, if they lost Moo there, that may have been questionable if it was worth it. But yeah, as you said, as it was, no detection, he's out.
That was definitely a kill if they had like dust or something along those lines to bring him down.
Yeah, the
But no.
damage with this Weaver's diffuser is pretty insane.
Yeah. Shrines opened up, and Clinks does a lot of damage whenever he has Death Pact online.
Double blinks now for complexity being complete as well. Blink on the DK, blink on the Shaman. Oh, talking about poor old Jimmy. Can he play his way out of this one? He's trying his best. He's holding back, so please don't kill me. HFN, he's having none of it though. Another death for the Shaman.
They dust up the Weaver.
Oh, can they get him in return? HFN does have the time lapse. Instantly jumps out, and now King RD comes forward with the 2-man stun. The Vendetta burst onto Moo. That's Clinks down. That's a big kill. A kill that they've struggled to get so far. They'll get it this time. Triple kill for HFN. The Laguna's there to finish off Firo. And SG with a beautiful team fight for themselves there.
That was without Ravage too. They just were able to come in. Death Pact wore off, and once Death Pact is off, Clinks is still pretty squishy.
Dire's
And having the
middle
proper amount of reveal. This Weaver is sitting on 4,200 gold.
Oh, he's a rich man.
Lena also had lost the Shadow Blade the whole time during all that, so he was playing with like a 3,000 gold loss. Now
And
he's got
now she's
Silver
got the
Age.
Silver Edge, yeah. Tarbo, oh, Jimmy.
The
Jimmy's-
stolen snowball.
Can Jimmy survive? He says, Shrine, please heal me up. He holds on to C4T, looks him in the eyes, says, don't do this to me, boy. He's dead, he's gone.
Blexi's respawning. They're gonna have to just back up. Heal up. Silver Edge versus Dragon Knight's gonna be very useful.
Yeah, it's and it's going to make him very, very susceptible to being taken. I want to see what HFN goes for as well. What's he picking up there? Actually, yeah, okay, yeah. Out of diffuse with blade charges.
Yep.
Level it up. Very nice for the stats as well.
He's
So
just gonna
he
go
won't
for
mind doing
the
so.
Orchid build. He's pretty much got it finished. Yeah, he's got the whole thing finished up. So
There we
now,
go.
yeah, his kill potential is very high.
Hey,
Even
you
the
can-
Clinks doesn't have BKB or anything online either.
Yeah, he can solo kill pretty much, guys, if he
Yeah.
finds him.
He sold
Got
it.
it.
Oh, we sold it.
And now
Is
he's
he changing
going
his mind?
for,
What's he going for now?
Lincolns.
Okay. I mean, yeah, certainly the Lincolns is going to make it so he does not die.
Yeah, he doesn't have like really any survivability for himself just yet, so that's probably the safer route to do that rather than an Orchid. Orchid's a lot of damage, but damage doesn't seem to be their issue at the moment.
Despite their pushing efforts. Dragon Knight, Jakira, and Shaman draft. They've averaged the fewest towers taken by 20-minute mark in DreamLeague. Yeah, and that's true. That is I guess a bit of a problem. Even though it feels like they were taking towers pretty good with the Serpent Ward drop. I guess we're in the first 20 minutes. Oh, okay, average. Okay, yeah. So over all the games they played, I guess yeah, they've had some other tough games where they've just not taken towers. So fairly skews that. Makes sense. They've had some tough matches today.
Demon hasn't really been able to place his Serpent Wards in like the best tower pushing positions. He's had like I think 2 or 3 that were decent, but a lot of times he's getting just ran at and he drops in like a very defensive position just because he's gonna die anyway. He's got the Blink Dagger finished up though on the Shadow Shaman, so at least he's got that like Blink disable for his team. And now King RD, he does pick himself up a gem finally, so their 5-man potential on SG is much stronger. They have the mech, I believe, finished up on the Tidehunter, I think I saw. Yeah, so mech as well. So they actually are, they're ready to go. They want to contest for this next Roche.
Did Ejefeng get the completed Lincolns, or is he still?
I think he's about to have it.
He's nearly got it, yeah, 50 gold off it.
This next team fight is massive for both teams because it's going to be Roche just spawning. They get eyes on Z-Freak.
Yep, there's the setup, and there's the takedown. Z-Freak gone.
Roche is spawning in about 1 minute.
BKB is now complete for Moose, so as we talked, a very, very crucial item for him to actually have the chance to stand up against SG in these team fights.
Yeah, his farm is still decent. The thing is that Fiero is falling behind heavily. Like, he got the armlet at a decent time, he got the blink quite a bit later, but now his BKB is nowhere even close. And comparing him to Adriano, the Lina, Lina has got Silver Edge, Plate Mail, and 19 Charge Bloodstone with level 18. He's got the level 3.
The level difference is just insane between the DK and the Lina. 5 levels between them.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall XP 15,000. That is a lot of 27 minutes in. Really just goes to show the story of this game where there have been, you know, there's sort of high points for complexity. Moo, you know, as you mentioned, just doing very well on the Clinks, but overall,
they're trying to play around their ward bottom side. King RD spots it. He knows there's sentries there. He's got the gem as well. The backup is coming. Trying to set up for him. Down. But all of SG is starting to collapse.
It's a dangerous place for Cole to be.
Yeah. When they're at such a deficit, definitely a hard place for them to fight. They're trying to get the good first usage out of the BKB from the Clinks. Another smoke coming out for them. They really want to take a fight with this BKB.
They've got to find something here. This is, again, getting to one of those points where complexity just have to do something.
They know Roche is up.
In terms of a team fight.
They have a feeling that the Roshan spawned. It's been enough time. It's been like the maximum limit, so they're going straight for it. Dire scan on the hill. It does catch some of the heroes on the side of SG, and it does make complexity want to change their mind a bit. HFN now makes his move into the Roche pit.
They do to stop it. Will they get there in time? They're heading over with the smoke. Move. Positioning himself up top. Who is going to make the move into the pit though? That's the question. Roshan are already down to half. They need complexity.
This is a huge, like Aegis Cheese is going to be...
Yeah, you've got to stop this.
Ridiculously strong on the side of SG. Complexity doesn't look like they're going to go in. Doesn't look like they're going to make it in time. 2,000 HP.
SG's got this. It really does look like that in terms of this Roche. Any movement now is going to be a movement too late. Roshan's gone. HFN grabs himself the Aegis. Cheese still in the pit for the taking, and we'll go into the hands of Adriano. But as you said, against Aegis and Cheese, the difficulty steps up and up for complexity in these team fights. How do they tackle SG's lineup full on? They need to somehow burst down that Weaver at the start, but now they've got to do it twice.
And through a Lincoln's.
Yeah.
And Tidehunter with Ravage and Mech. They've got so much different sustain and just much more power on SG's side in team fights. Despite being, you know, of course, a 14,000 gold lead.
Move. What's he going for post BKB? Starting to fall behind again because of that Roshan take. He's just looking to get the completed Solar Crest done.
Regeneration.
But it's tough. The push is going to be coming down from SG very, very shortly. They're shoving in the middle lane.
He's having to go. Yeah, he's on the Solar Crest, and he needs bigger items. That's the problem.
Yeah, you can't afford to have your Clinks getting that at this stage when you're behind. it's not the position he wants to be in. He feels like he just needs something to give them a chance of turning the tides of these fights.
Are fortified.
HFN up to the high ground, fortifications out, but he's just gonna sit there, continue hitting in onto the racks, jukes out the ice path. Now the jump ball will be there. They'll break the Lincolns. They do stun him, but they'll be able to blow up the Aegis. Good starter for compLexity. Yeah, he's looking for a jump in, but the BKB's out on move. They focus the Weaver again. He'll get the chance to time that. So HFN surviving. Tarbo comes in with the Ravage. 1-2 down as the Laguna flies through onto Ferrero. They've lost 2. The Rex are down. And there we have it. Yeah, Tarvo just with the perfect timing, holding on. See if they can get any cleanup in return. Light Strike to hold back move, but King RD will not be saved. Z-Freak moving forward, but the Lina turns around. HFN ready to play around, back on this fight. Very low though. Does have to be careful. The dust is out upon him. Z-Freak up to the high ground, trying to get away. The Dragon Slave, it's there from Lina. Ice Path onto the tide. Tarvo falling down. Adriano just keeping up this aggression. Look how low he's playing around. He's still got the cheese. Now he swallows it. HFN caught out by the Ice Path. Light Strike not to connect onto Moo. compLexity are holding this off. They're forcing SG back. They did lose the melee racks though, but it certainly could have been a lot worse. Yeah, the gold swing, they'll love that. Good bit of gold to the Jakiro and a good bit of gold to Moo. 2k gold in the bank off the back of that. So compLexity do hold on at what was potentially minimal cost of what could have been a lot worse there.
Yeah, having this like defensive mech and pipe coming out from Swindle played a big part in them being able to just like, survive long enough through all that amount of damage that SG had. And just that nice little chain CC lockdown that they had coming out onto the Weaver. But they did lose a Rex. All of that. But the big thing is that like looking at the experience is probably the bigger one than the gold. Gold was about 4,000, but experience was well over 7.
Hey, they'll find themselves another freebie there, Moo.
Nice.
But the DD gets a quick and easy Rubik.
DD in level 21 now too, so he's got that max death pact as well as more than just that with that plus 10 stats. He's got full Orchid being delivered out on the courier.
Oh,
Demon.
Jimmy, rest in peace. Sir.
Goodbye, Demon.
Bro, Jim, how many deaths have we got on the Shaman this game? It's not been pretty for him, has it?
11.
11 deaths. It's a dangerous game to play the Shadow Shaman. Wow! A lot of quick and easy ways that SG can take him out.
Did they recover their gem? They did. So Adriano, when he did get out, when he like ran in, he was able to recover that. And he's got 23 Bloodstone charges now too on the Lina, so he's pretty close to that instant respawn.
I mean, that last fight as well, he played it very nicely with his positioning. He got so much damage, I believe like 5.5k hero damage done in that last fight.
Yeah, now that for the next engagement, if they do get HFN like very low, I believe he can actually just suicide himself to heal him up afterwards if he's not able to get the time lapse, and then bots back in because his respawn is very short now with that 23 Bloodstone.
It certainly could be a play that you can make.
Yeah.
And yeah, could certainly make the, allow us SG to just get that second set of racks if they're ready to go down bottom, and I imagine there will be. Ravage is back online.
Yep, because that was the Aegis and Cheese fight.
It was, yeah.
And that was I believe the debut of the Black King bar as well for the Clinks, and Moo had just finished that item up, and then he picked up a full Orchid, so his damage potential skyrocketed. And if you look at his net worth, he's pretty much even now with the Weaver.
You had to respect the Clinks. Dearly for them that they want to be able to get that initial disable onto him, but they already have as much of a blink instant.
They've got the Rubik blink now.
I guess yeah, the Rubik blink telekinesis, but that's going to put him in a vulnerable position for the rest of Clinks to take him down. Rest of compLexity to take him down.
Adriano's building toward an AC, so they can at least have that to help out the full team. Just some more auras. Guardian Greaves, I believe, were finished up as well on the Tidehunter in that last ending of that engagement. So some increased armor just on everybody will help.
There we go, the second highest kills, the 32-minute mark in DreamLeague. HFN been having quite a marvel of a game on the Weaver.
Wrapping around.
Oh, who's going to get the jump on who? Move, finds the Rubik. Couple of shots. Rubik just gets ripped to pieces there by the damage that this man does. Chase forward with the snowball. Nice use of the light strike just to get that extra bit of movement burst to get Lina out of there. They found the Nyx Assassin. They'll pick up a second very quickly. compLexity.
That was the gem too. And
Yeah.
Firo has a new BKB now, and he didn't have to expend it for that engagement.
If they can get the Lina as well, that would be absolutely massive. But he's out in the tree line. The TP is successful. They tried to hunt for Adriana, but just slightly off the mark. But this is worrying for SG. You know, losing 2 heroes just like that off the back of where they certainly were looking to fight.
Klink's just two-shotted Rubik.
Damage is off the charts. Once he gets a Bloodthorn, there's going to be no hope for some of these squishier heroes on SG.
Yeah.
I mean, even the tankier ones, if this Klinks is allowed to pummel into them, be gone.
All about how they take the fights. If they're able to catch a couple heroes out and make it like a 5v4 or something like that, that's where compLexity can definitely lead the charge with these new BKBs. Having that magic resistance versus Tidehunter is super important for the team fights.
John, he's got the money for the AC, but we'll see if he saves on for buyback. I guess with those sort of Bloodstone charges, there's not really too much reason is there to save for the buyback on the Lina. Like,
No, I think he can just buy it.
You just pick it up, yeah.
Yeah. He did finish that up too, I think. Yep. Now, new gem picked up by King RD. They need to keep the gem for that Klinks.
I think, you know, at this stage, it's definitely looking like compLexity with Mu, as big as he is, he can carry them through this.
Yeah, definitely.
This Klinks is an absolute monster.
All about if they're able to catch him out of position.
Yeah. That is, yeah. If they can kill Mu before the fight begins, that is pretty much what they need to do. They need to find that Klinks.
Here comes the big wraparound. Z-Freak has a Blink Dagger now too on the Tusk though, so they have the Blink Tusk Snowball to at least save people on top if anyone does get engaged on out of position. And with like those BKBs that we keep talking about, they do have great ways to deal with the initiation of SG. So decently recovering. Next big fight will probably be around the Roche Pit again. Guys should be spawning within the next few minutes, just about a minute and a half or so, maybe a little bit less than that.
And that Aegis and Cheese, absolutely crucial for both sides to have a good shot at sizably winning a fight. We saw last time SG with their Aegis and Cheese. Even with it wasn't great for them. They may have got a Rax, but they did lose heroes off the back of it, and they gave Mu a lot of gold because of the kills he was able to get.
Yeah, the kill
And once
bounties
again,
were massive. Like the 1,000 gold swing from the Klinks getting the kill on the Weaver. They've got high ground advantage right now on the side of SG.
Or, HFN's position in here. Yeah, doesn't have eyes on Mu. They'll scan.
They have a feeling that they are around
but it's
here.
just off the mark, that scan.
Oh,
King RD, he'll be the one to be jumped on.
and that's
straight
the new
away.
gem.
Oh, it is as well. That's painful.
That's a very big pickup for them.
Yeah, the double gems. Both of King RD's gems now in the hands of Z3.
They're losing. They pretty much lost their whole. Like, they still have of course, the Rax advantage here, but they are losing a lot of their map control advantage here. Experience has actually started ticking into compLexity's favor now after
The net
these
worth as
pickoffs.
well, I imagine, is starting to show quite a swing around.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it was about a 15k lead, now down to just 5. That is not the direction that SG wanted to be going. Yeah, this really is this very solid performance from Mu this game. Real backbone of compLexity here in this game too, and closing in on the money for that Bloodthorn.
And he's got enough now if he wants to purchase it.
What do we take on Terra 25 as well? Look at what are the talents like on the thing?
The 70
Oh,
strafe
I
is
see.
alive, but the range could be quite nice this game, just to keep his distance, since they have been playing like mostly high ground defense, and then also for sieging it's quite nice.
Yeah.
I've seen people take
We see-
both. I've
yeah,
seen
both are
I've
good.
seen the strafe picked up, I think, more than the attack range though, because it's
I
only
mean, 70 sounds a lot. I mean,
125.
how much of a how many is each level on the strafe? Each
It's
level is
130 always.
Oh, it's just always 130. So that's over a 50% increase. That sounds like a lot. It is a lot. But as you said, yeah, positioning already, becoming very crucial, especially once those BKB charges run down low. Maybe attack range will be the way he wants to go this game. BKB now for HFM, so feeling very safe now with the BKB and the Lincolns. And he needs to, as they are relying on keeping him alive. Once he's gone, I mean, to be fair, it's him and the Lina, because as we saw before, Adriana actually doing the majority of the damage in the team fight.
Yeah, and he's going to be going for a crit soon too. So we saw him
Oh,
do
I
that
like
build
that.
as well
Yeah.
at Kiev Major. He had like a full Daedalus, and his right click potential was through the roof once you get that Fiery Soul stacks at 25. And they go right into the pit, and they bring it down extremely fast. And this is going to be the Aegis and Cheese going their way.
Of course, this 40-minute fun time getting those runes
Yep.
down the river, double damages for days.
Oh, he's got a bottle as well.
Yeah, he's storing it for later. I do like that. I wonder if we'll start to see more of this kind of this late game usage of the bottle, because having a DD in your pocket in a late game fight, that can be absolutely massive.
Even Arcane Rune in some
Yeah, I
situations
mean,
is
yeah.
absurd.
I think having a bottle at this stage of the game, 40 minutes onwards, is something I feel that most teams will start doing. It's can certainly turn fights, having those crucial runes.
RD is on the prowl in this bottom jungle area.
Yeah,
Demon is as well. Demon might actually get grabbed here. Is he
He's
going to
gotta be
look
careful.
here? He's not. Okay.
Oh, he's having a peek. They're seeing him. Oh, Jimmy. Rest in peace, sir. Rest in peace.
Are they going to catch anybody else out? Z-Freak?
They've got eyes on in the ice path. We'll block them off. HFN trying to chase, but the shards are there to block and the blink out as well from Cole. Give them back.
How are we doing on levels? Anybody almost level 25? I think we have a couple. Lena 22, Weaver 23, Clinks 23. And Swindle actually level 22. So with that 25% experience gain talent, he's been
getting
catching
there.
up quite nicely. He's got the Blink Dagger finish. He's got his Aura builds. He's almost got the Shivas too. And he's got that passive 150 gold per minute talent too at 20. Definitely playing into favors now.
Oh, and I guess that pure and piercing immunity macro pie is going to be nice. For 25 against this BKB on the Weaver. I guess you take that. Would you take the ice path?
The Ice Path is pretty
Is
absurd.
it pretty good?
Yeah,
Plus
I mean,
1.25 stun?
it becomes almost it's like almost a 4-second stun on a
Okay.
9-second cooldown in such a massive line.
All right. So you
It's-
think that is the one you take on a late game Jakira?
Yeah, more than not. I mean, the backup part pure damage is cool,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure just having that type of disable is just way better in most situations. All right, here we go.
What?
DD gets popped.
Who wants
That
to
was
go?
that was just because of the timing, though. It's been
I
2
guess
minutes.
it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd love to try and make use of it, but yeah, he can't really do anything about HFN on his own. Doesn't have anywhere near the control to go for a Lincoln's and a BKB.
Wants to though.
Oh, with Demon he can. There we have it. He can't do it alone, but with a +1, he'll get it. He just taken off him.
Do they get Demon though?
Oh,
He's got the bug on him.
poor old Jimmy. Oh,
Oh,
Jimmy
nice force
saved.
step. Z-Freak forcing him down off the high.
Oh my goodness, move! Did you see that? He just 1.5 shot at a Rubik. Rubik just disappears, and you got to run away from that Clinks. Jimmy jumping forward, looking for the Hex. BKB popped by Ferrero. They're going to chase down King RD. Blink forward as they get in position to lock down the Lina, bring them down. Latavo comes in with the first Ravage. Is revving up for the second one there with the Refresher Orb. The Hex comes out once again. Adriano trying to get himself out, but the shackles are there from Jimmy. They've lost 2 on SG. Tavo surrounded, and compLexity they're holding. There'll be a buyback from Swindles trying to get himself back in the fight. At the moment, though, he's not needed. Firo blinks into position, chases down Tavo.
Clinks' damage is just absurd
Yeah, this
in
is
these
ridiculous.
fights.
Moo is just having an absolute game on the Clinks.
These long duration BKBs are just really playing into favor. Even though the second Ravage, I believe, caught 4, it's still like the initial, you know, them having those BKBs just to be able to run on top of the Lina.
Yeah.
And he does go for the attack range, so distance in this one is looking to be a bit
And I
more
really feel,
important.
I know he's got that, yeah, I like that. I was going to say, you just got yourself 4K goal in the back. You can't go for a solo crest now. You've got to go for the bigger items if you're me. You've got to ride on the fact that you are just this insane threat for SG. And yeah, solo crest ain't going to cut it. You want to get yourself the big guns out. And MKB is going to be the way he wants to go.
Yep. That was Aegis and Cheese. Well, the Aegis was popped before the fight, but the Cheese was used afterwards on Adriano, and he drops super quickly.
Oh, mid lane. They're trying to go in onto Jimmy, but Jimmy's got backup. Jimmy's got friends. The ice path there onto 2 to hold the 2 of them back. King RD getting himself out of the macro pie. Firo pops the BKB here. But I think now we're certainly seeing a situation where HFN is having much more trouble in comparison to Moo in terms of one-shotting the Rubik. Moo just, this is just absolutely glorious in terms of damage. Godlike as he picks up the double. You just can't let this Clinks touch you. If he gets a couple of hits on you, you are dead. Jump ball from Jimmy, finds the hex onto Adriano. They've got the chain stun here as they hold back on the ice path. Now lay it down, post the shackles. Adriano getting beaten down by the Tusk. And they're not done yet. They're looking for the Titan. Zafiro jumping up to the high ground. Tavo will survive for the time being. But look at this. Z-Freak going in deep. Tavo's down. Hex is there onto a fourth. There'll be a buyback from Adriano. But compLexity really bringing it all together here now at the end of game 2.
They have a gold advantage now.
This has been quite the swing around.
Clinks is just looking to be an extremely powerful hero with all these like small buffs with the new death pack. All these auras that they've got finished up, the amount of disable coming out from the Shadow Shaman too is just
pretty much just three-shotting the buildings now as well.
oh my goodness.
Water shot down at bottom. Oh, Laguna. Jimmy. This time. Oh, Jimmy! Oh, Jimmy.
That's mega creeps though.
It is.
HFN didn't have buyback. That's yep.
This has
What
been
a swing of events.
yeah, compLexity just holding the fort, staying strong, and turning around what was a very rocky early game for them. Yeah, SG Esports getting a 15k gold lead, but now it's all but gone. If we have a look at that net worth, it's going to be a straight mirror, straight down. And it's not quite hit on the board there, but we can see at the top it's going to be going down to a 12k lead now in favor of compLexity as they're cleaning up this base. And I don't know if SG can swing it back around the way that compLexity swung the mid-game round.
These BKBs just were massive.
Yeah.
As soon as compLexity got them, it was like the halt began for SG. They weren't able to get the initiations that they wanted, and it just became compLexity. Even though they weren't able to like take the big fights at the Roche Pit or anything, they just showed their sustain and the amount of auras coming up from T-Streak.
What can they do? Tavo comes in with the Ravage, but the BKP is just out from Mu. He turns towards HFN, who has to time lapse immediately. But straight away, he's taken back down to half of his life. And there really is now very little that SG can do to recover this. Jimmy celebrates, picks up the boots of travel on the Shaman and Mu. No messing from him. Looks towards the Ancient. There'll be again the final Ravage from Tavo, but indeed, there's no way they can recover from this sort of a swing round. compLexity turning the game on its head, 47 minutes in, will claim the victory, get themselves $1,000 in the bank, and there we have it. Again, SG kind of falling to the same sort of problems they had yesterday, where they had this really strong early game, but then it all kind of falls apart in the middle of the game.
Yeah, I mean, they got the racks and everything too. It was just this Clinks ran rampant. As soon as he had BKB, they couldn't get into the back lines. The Tusk, the Jakiro, and the Dragon Knight just being so tanky, being able to kind of like take the brute force of all the damage coming out from SG. And